Welcome to Leafer Review. This week we are doing the Perdomo Lot 23 Natural Robusto. So we're going to dive right into this bad boy.
We also invited our good buddy Cliff here this week.
Special guest.
Hey,
Very,
very
special. Very special.
Everyone got their lighters and stuff, right? Or Seth forget his?
Seth doesn't have anything like usual.
I'm here for the scraps.
Ooh, that does smell nice.
Yeah, it does.
See, it's interesting. Dan and I were looking up the cigar ahead of the show, and it looks like Perdomo did a redesign on this cigar.
Yeah, they redid
like
the
they
labels.
They redid the labels. Looks like they have a Connecticut, a Sun-Grown, and a Maduro now. Which is kind of fitting of all their lines. They have Connecticut, Sun-Grown, Maduro, pretty much everything. But that foot smells nice.
The Maduro was a bit different to me.
I wonder if it's still the same though. Is my big question.
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to do another Perdomo. Oh darn! Oh no!
Man, I know the big debate. One of the big debates: solo versus non-solo. But that is one of the perks of
Keeps
leaving
that
the
flavor.
solo on. Man, you get that fresh nut every time.
It smells great.
All right.
That is nice.
Just
I
on the
miss the
smell
ashtray.
alone, it seems
Good
like
job.
it'll be a creamy cigar
And
just from the
these are
start.
heavy.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting when I read on this. The Lot 23 started back in 2000. It was just a virgin lot no one's ever used for growing tobacco, and they decided it was Nick Perdomo decided to grow some.
Well, it's collaboration with Nick Perdomo Sr. and Nick Perdomo Jr.
Yeah.
They went and started now their huge factory in Esteli, Nicaragua.
Yeah. And so the wrapper is a Connecticut
Oh boy.
wrapper. Yeah, I broke out the big words.
The notes. Oh
The
boy.
notes. So it's a Connecticut
great.
seed wrapper that's it provides that creaminess that we're smelling. Super creamy on the cold draws and
On that cold draw, I get like a spiced raisin oatmeal kind
That's what I
of.
was thinking too.
I
Kind of
agree
raisiny.
with you.
That's nice.
So it's got the Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, and the wrapper. So it's obviously on the
I
wrapper.
got it up the nose.
It's fantastic.
Too much up the nose.
Huh. Interesting.
What are you thinking down there, Cliffy?
I get raisin in the first couple draws. A raisiny flavor. It's nice.
Dried fruit,
Super
Yeah.
smooth.
raisins.
It's a very smooth cigar.
It's one
The
food I
Really?
initial
want.
draw.
I hate raisins. Unless it's a note in.
Hate 'em.
Oh, Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah.
I hate Tommy Lasorda.
Unless it's a note in a cigar. But actually eating raisins? Hell no.
I get a lot of sweetness on it.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's coming. It's almost coming. Feels like it's coming from the wrapper. It's kind of on the lips when you.
Yeah, I get a
Definitely smooth. A lot of flavor.
ton of sweetness in it.
So it's an interesting one. When I first started smoking this one, it was like every hit was like
Crazy.
that. Every hit was like that. I was like, whoa, what is this? So I had to look it up, and there's a lot of different notes that obviously people wrote up that they get from it.
Let's wait on those. Let's try and
It's-
figure
it's
out
very-
some of
Let's
ours.
dive into it a little
Yeah.
more.
Let's
do
continue.
let's do the usual. Cliffy, what'd you use the cut and light over there? I know you.
I
got
use a
the,
V cut, a big V
you
cut,
Got the.
By
and
whom?
a flat flame.
You got the
Zycar.
Both Zycar. He's got the VX2
Lighter.
V cutter and then the
the
Verano flat flame Zycar lighter.
That's
Both-
an awesome little lighter.
Yeah, I
love
like
it.
that flat flame.
Nice soft light.
Yeah.
Whenever
It's precise too.
How does the
Very
how
much
is your fuel consumption on that?
It's a small
Small
reservoir.
flame.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It goes quick. I would say 3-4 cigars.
Yep.
That's
Touch
not
it.
bad.
Touch off a little bit, but it
Fits in the pocket nice.
Oh, very much so. But it goes depending on
Unlike mine.
depending on where you have the flame adjusted to, makes a big difference. A nice soft flame works really nice.
Yeah.
Dan's is good for walking into the club. Is that a lighter in your pocket?
Or banana.
The Robo
Yeah.
lighter.
Is that a taser? No. No, it's not a taser.
So this week, I went with my trusty, Adam uses the Jaws V-Cut. This is the Jaws flat flame with those serrated blades. Just a nice clean cut. And this one's it's got some use on it like most of my accessories do, but I get some new ones here and there. But I like it when they redid it. I've talked about it before, when they redid it. I've got a couple nicks, but nothing too bad. The teeth on this are a lot smaller than they used to be. They used to break off all the time. But this thing has got a lot of use
It's a good
on it.
change.
Yeah, a lot of use.
I like the shape of them too.
Yeah,
they
they're just
feel good in the hand, and they're it's a
nice
good weight. It's not super
matte
heavy.
finish.
It's got a matte finish. It fits in your pocket nicely.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not a big bulky thing. It fits right in there. You don't even realize you have it. It's good. It's good shape.
And then Seth and I use the Vertigo Cyclone. This
Great
is the
lighter.
Cyclone 1. Cyclone 1 and 2. I like the 1 better. Just works a lot better. But for, people sell these, what, 10, 12 bucks roughly. I tell people,
Hey,
Bang
go
for
run
the
for
buck.
it.
It's
throw
a
one in your
great
car,
lighter.
throw one in your golf
Can't go
bag,
wrong.
throw
a
one in
great
your
lighter.
humidor, throw one in, I mean, it's 10 bucks. You just can't go wrong. I got guys that have been using the same one of these puppies for 3-4 years at
Yeah.
10 bucks. I haven't had to replace it.
I've lost all the ones that I used to have.
Well, someone's enjoying them.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone is.
It's a great lighter.
And they're actually pretty easy on the fuel too.
Yeah, they're great. It's
Actually
got
are.
a nice big reservoir. I mean, the flame on it's a tri-flame too, and it'll shoot out some heat for a good relight.
Absolutely.
Windy conditions. It's a good lighter.
You've hit on that before in regards to a relight. If you set it down, it's nice to have a good burner to relight. And at times, it's tough to relight with this flat
Yeah,
flame. It's
yeah.
nice, but
It's a very delicate, nice to light your
Agreed.
first cigar with, but
Doesn't
that's
go deep.
that's another reason why I like these Vertigos. You can really, I mean, you can make creme brulee with it. You could sweat some pipes. I mean, you turn this thing up, that's a flame, and you can heat it up. You get a little fresh relight on it, and it's got the adjuster on them, but you go through fuel like crazy.
The
on
nice
these.
thing is
Gets you right to that second,
single
third.
flame too. Is
Single flame.
precise.
And it is a rocket ship, and you can turn it down. I mean,
Yeah,
you
to
can turn
pretty
it
much
down
nothing.
for a little toast in a low light, or you can go and hit it hard.
trim nose hairs.
You could, yeah, that's a lighter.
Just don't look down the barrel.
It's got the gun. Yeah, that's one thing I wish that this lighter did. It's ergonomic this way, but you're not facing away from you when you light. So you're doing this, and then you have that flame. I
I
wish,
find myself doing this all the time. I find myself with the finger back here,
yeah, pointing
which
it
isn't.
at you.
I know
Yeah.
it's not as
Yeah.
accurate though as.
Although
The one thing you can do, which a lot of times sometimes
can
get
lock it
stuck, is
on.
You can lock it like that,
Yeah.
so it's just on.
so if you're lighting a
Then you can
whole
lock
line
it
of
so it's off.
a whole line of cigars, but I will say with the relight on this, I'm holding the cigar in my hand. I'm torching it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I keep
So
that
I'm
far
not
away
doing
from
it to my face, but this is my favorite lighter for a relight. It really is.
Packs a punch and nice heat.
Especially if you have a little ash in there that's just not, I mean, you can scrape it
I
off,
would say it
but
gets it done quicker than most lighters.
It puts the heat to it.
absolutely.
You can burn her down if you're.
There's a
if
little
you're
ash left on the cigar.
there's a little
It's right
ash.
to it.
It'll
Absolutely.
it'll melt that tar and nicotine down into and gives you a fresher light.
Man, this thing's just smoking great. Razor sharp burn.
You know,
Ash is hanging on.
it's smoothed out quite a bit already. I mean, it was a great initial burn. It's already coming into its own right
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
I get a
Very
bit of pepper.
nice.
Are you? I still get a lot of sweetness from it. I mean, it's sweeter now than when I first hit it. It was a fresh sweet before, but now it's getting that more caramely
Kind of see
sweet.
both. You take
char.
you take the smoke in. It's got this nice sweetness, and on the exhale, you get kind of that just a little peppery.
I'm getting the pepper.
I get both.
yeah.
Get the pepper.
It's
I
not
get some,
heavy though. It's just light.
It's
Little
nice.
yeah.
Do you get a little leathery notes too? Something.
Very,
kinda-
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll
about
go
leathery
leather.
notes. I just feel this cigar is leathery. Just the look of it, the feel, mouth feel. It's
Char is what sticks out to me. I don't know, like
Char.
a charred. I don't know. It's just
Like that, like
a
a.
descriptor.
char. I
I'm
think-
with you. You get a little bit of that, like almost that caramelization that you get from like a char from a grill.
barbecue char.
Yeah, a barbecue char. There's a little hint of that. I'm with you on that. For sure. Yep. Cigar barbecue.
It's a barbecue.
I don't
Nice.
think anybody did any drinks this other than Adam. You got what, coffee going?
I'm rocking the coffee, and I did, and it's has creamer in it. It's a vanilla, just a touch of vanilla creamer in it, which is going gangbusters with this.
I would love to have a gin and tonic, but I
You max
said to
it.
Adam, no, I'm
Behaving
going to be good
himself.
tonight.
Yeah,
But I wanted to have an honest opinion of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there is
It is good.
a ton of like, again that with that little raisiny at first there was a little spice to it, but I'm getting a ton of that oat. That just almost sawdust oat with it. This is a good cigar. I'm digging it.
I haven't smoked one of these in a long time.
Yep.
I've had a lot of other Perdomos, but I seem to always forget about this one.
Love the
I mean,
Perdomo line.
the Perdomo in general. These cigars are always a great price point, and that's what was mentioned on the Perdomo website. Is they can make such a nice cigar out of the same lot. They use the same lot, and it's always a fair price.
this has been around quite a while.
2000s.
They
2000s,
started
you said?
developing in 2000. I think released this lot 23 in 2006
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
when they
Nice.
introduced the line.
So it's not new.
No, it's not new. But
Well, I will tell you, in Perdomo and all their lines, they're redesigning a lot of the labels. Like this label now is blue on the
flashier.
Maduro, I think red on the Sun Grown, and then like a gold on the
yellowish
Connecticut.
gold. Kind of like their
Yeah.
the gold on their champagne.
I'd be curious
line.
to try it. I feel like this is not going to be like the Connecticut that they have now. I feel like this is more like the Sun Grown, because Sun Grown's not real full. It's generally kind of in that mid to mild kind of range. I think that would be the compare now.
I mean,
It's
like,
not light.
It's like
by any
caramel
stretch.
nutty. No,
I don't
like,
think this is a light cigar.
almost like a payday.
By
It's
any
not.
means.
It's not full, but
A lot of flavor in it.
I just took a drink of the coffee, but yeah, I got that caramely brown
It's almost
sugar.
like a
There was a
payday.
cinnamon, toasty kind of cinnamon kind of thing going to it. It is packed full of flavors. It is not a. It's a flavorful cigar. Every hit I've had has been very enjoyable.
Yeah, this is incredible. I'm glad I was able to. I actually found this because a follower on my Instagram suggested it. I did a live video heading to a job and told him to kind of my following to let me know their top 3 cigars, and he laid them out, and I went and bought them that night and smoked them, and this was like the noticeable, like huge flavorful cigar, and I was like, yeah, this one's
so this was on the list. What else is on the list?
Davidoff, Churchill, and then I'm forgetting the other one, but I pretty much got to this one and like that was it. This thing is just, the flavor that this thing gives is just incredible. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get these, and then I brought some obviously to here, and then I think it was you, Cliff, that said let's just do a podcast on it.
Yeah, I was excited.
Do it together.
Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time,
Absolutely.
Cliff. I know it's not easy with your schedule to do it, and I know that
it's
you're
all
kind
good.
of a follower of our little club that we're doing. But yeah,
Our cigar club.
Yeah.
No, I was
The
really
the He-Man Women Haters Club.
Sorry, Darla. I gotta be my own man.
No, I was when you guys told me about this, I was really excited for you, all of you guys. I think it's a great idea what you're doing. And when this came up, when Dan come back with all these cigars, I'm like, hey, let's just do a podcast. And
Yeah, we had 5, which
Yeah.
was
Perfect.
yeah, it was
Dan
one
got
of
back
those
here and
things.
said, here's one of these. I'm like, well, wait a minute, let's all smoke them together and let's do a podcast.
Yep.
That's
It
kind of,
sounded like a neat idea
that's kind of
anyway.
the nice thing about
Yeah.
what we're doing.
It
We're having fun. We're talking about cigars. We
Yeah.
all love cigars. Bring Cliff in. We had other Nook and
appreciate
Nate on our last episode that
Mhm.
was out. Just bringing guests in that just enjoy cigars, enjoy spirits, beer. I mean, whatever. And what else?
Teas with the lemon.
Well, we were doing this thing anyways. It's basically the whole premise behind this is 4 friends sitting around talking about cigars,
Right on.
and we do it at our local watering hole, hang out and smoke cigars and talk about them and pair them up with drinks. And it's like, hey, why aren't we doing this for a podcast? I think that Seth and I had looked at a few of them, and some of them seemed like they had a little, something to be wanting from them. And we're like, we could do this better. Plus, we're doing it anyway, so why not film it whilst we're doing it?
Sure.
What else do we ever do in the wintertime?
Yep.
Smoke cigars. and
Whatever
stay
do we do in
warm.
the springtime? Whatever do we do in the summertime?
Smoke
Whatever
cigars.
do we do in the fall?
Well, it's not only that. We want to give honest opinions, be informative for some, whether you're the advanced, aficionado, or you're just, you're just getting into cigars. We want to give you an opinion, give you some knowledge going into the humidor. Going into a walk-in humidor. I mean, some of these
It can be
humidors
over-
are massive, especially when you get in the cities.
Can be overwhelming.
I mean, they are
It's very overwhelming.
huge. I've been in humidors that are just. I mean, your head will spin off. I mean, it's
Sure.
ridiculous. But
Well, and
yeah.
between the 4 of us, there's not too many cigars that we haven't had. But, you do go into a humidor and there's a line that, that you're familiar with, but you're like, oh, what's this one?
yeah.
And, that was kind of the whole purpose of the podcast as well, is to kind of give somebody maybe an inkling, oh, they're doing this one today. I haven't had that one. Let's get an opinion and some
Sure.
flavor profiles and, so next time you are at your local smoke shop or cigar bar that you can go in and kind of have an idea before you're not going in blind. Although I think that's part of the fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've had other Perdomos, I would say 4 to 5 different lines that they offer, and I have to say, they were all,
Top notch.
absolutely, they were wonderful.
Perdomo is one of my favorite lines. I think that they burn consistent, they draw consistent. They all have a very good flavor, and they can compete with. It's a big company that can compete with those smaller boutique cigars,
Sure.
which I do enjoy.
They
I
all
like
have their
I like to
place
have
for
a
sure.
flavor. I like to have some flavor in my cigar, and this is definitely knocking it out of the park.
And I like what we've done here. I mean, we have a couple back episodes now, so we're trying to be ahead. But we've done a lot of core products that you're gonna find in every humidor. At some point here we'll dive into some of the small guys, the Viaje and Tatuaje, that kind of stuff. Not to say they're small, but I mean they're boutique as comparison to Fuente and Drew Estates and Perdomo, and dive into some of those smaller cigars, that are hard to find, that kind of stuff. But just nailing down some of the core stuff here that you can find anywhere.
Yeah.
You
When
can literally find this anywhere.
the fella on your Instagram told you about this, did you dive in and have one right away?
I did that night.
Okay.
I had to. I mean, I was just like, I need some cigars. I was about an hour away from here doing a job anyway, so I was like, there's a cigar bar local. I'm going to go in and see what they got and if they had them. And sure enough, they had
Nice. Great
the
choice.
Davidoff and the Lot 23.
What's the price point on these?
Between $7 to $8, depending on the size. I mean, they probably go up to $9.
Yeah, I mean this is the
Robusto.
This is the Robusto.
Yeah.
So.
I think
Still
I paid,
$7 for a good Robusto.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's
not bad.
great price
especially
point.
with this flavor.
Yeah.
The complexity of this is just like insane.
This is a very approachable smoke too. I don't think this is a terribly heavy cigar.
No.
I'm not taken back by the spiciness from it. Lets you know you're having a cigar, but it's a very nice, pleasant, mild flavors to it.
Yeah, one of the ones I'd like to get to next on their portfolio, it's always been a favorite, is champagne.
One of my
Champagne is-
favorites.
It's a
Wonderful
great,
cigar.
approachable. I'd say it's a little bit milder than this.
Mm-hmm.
The
I think-
pepperiness has settled down on me already. The initial burn, first half inch of cigar, I got more pepper
Yeah,
than I do right now.
and
But
I don't.
it's still,
Yeah,
if I want to really look into it, I still can get it. But
yeah. And I
to me,
think
it's mellowed a little bit.
if you purge it, I think it's just going to go right back to what it was. I don't find it's as it's building, it's changing. I don't find newer, different flavors in it, but but they are as it's building. You're getting different nuances of those same flavors.
Pick up in intensity.
Mm-hmm.
What's neat is, even though this is Nicaraguan, the last few Nicaraguans we've had, they've been very cocoa-y and different notes. So this is way different. than
I'm
the
still
majority
getting a
of it.
touch of that cocoa, but it's more of that oaty cocoa,
Yeah.
and it's a very light nuance of cocoa.
Well, the last one we did, I mean, I had to go get Cocoa
Cocoa
Puffs.
Puffs. Yeah, we did
One
the
whole box.
Hamlet Corona Gordo
Okay.
with the shaggy foot,
Liberation.
the Liberation, and it was just a fantastic smoke.
It's
What are you
dynamite.
talking about that?
I think
Now we
Dan-
got Cocoa
Dan
Puffs.
did it after.
Fat
Did you do it after we did the Deadwood? Is it the Deadwood?
No,
Oh,
it,
was it
it
the
was a
Hamlet?
Deadwood.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Deadwood.
Deadwood,
You're
like,
right.
really
Serious.
cocoa.
The Deadwood was
Straight up.
straight up. What else did we call it? Cream of wheat, cocoa
Yeah,
cream of
cocoa
wheat.
Yeah.
Cocoa wheats.
So
Dan,
I went
so.
Dan went and polished off a box of Cocoa Puffs that night.
Yeah, pretty much ate half the box.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, let's say do it with one and one.
This is great.
Like trail mix.
Chocolate
Don't forget which hand is which.
Yeah, chocolate milk. That's what we talked about that when
Yep.
we were leaving. I'm like, go chocolate milk and double it up.
It was really good. Not only did I get to smoke it, but then I got to eat it.
Now you've finished the whole box some nights, so you're pre-diabetic now.
It was worth it.
Yeah, I'm good at my whole taste for Cocoa Puffs is like
It's gone
going
for a
out.
while?
Yeah, it's
I'm
gone.
not gonna
You got your
eat
fix?
those for another 20 years. You know? I'm good.
Yeah,
Good.
good, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this band they did on this. I like that really parchment style, old school. And if you look at the border bands on it, there's actually kind of a ribbon style on it. It looks cool.
And the redesign,
They did a nice job.
it didn't change at all.
It
either.
appears like
They
that's
just
their
have a couple-
barn on the logo. Or on
That's actually, I guess, the Lot 23 barn specifically.
The drying
for
barn.
Peaks in the
Yeah.
background.
It's cool.
Now, if you're looking for for someone out there, if they're looking for it now,
Well, what you
then-
get?
I get the cocoa on the,
Yeah, I
on
got
the
it.
smoke that's coming off the end.
But
I
sometimes
spoke too
too,
soon.
I got that that coffee going, and that's kind of adding to that chocolatiness too.
I ashed on my arm.
Honestly.
Oh, really?
Have
I
you
can't.
gotten
Better
have you
than in your
gotten any
water.
ashes
No.
in the ashtray since we started doing
Every
this?
single
The
time.
good part about
Every
this
single
is-
episode, the ashes on the table.
The good part about this is you ashed first, so I was second down. But yeah, I hit my arm, and it's a somewhat solid ash if I can hold on to
I
it.
dropped it 3 times.
Yeah.
It's still intact.
It's still
Need a couple
intact.
business cards.
Dan's the
Nah.
ash hole yet again this week.
Somebody else will clean it up
I'll
probably.
get there.
Well, I seen the other podcast, maybe a week ago and maybe 2 weeks ago now, and Adam put it right in his water. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a
It
good
was
one.
awesome.
You could actually hear the sizzle.
You can go back and watch it. You can hear it go.
Ah.
Psst.
That was on Don Carlos. Was that the one we did?
I think that was part of the two-parter.
Yep.
Or no,
Yeah, it was a two-part.
that was
It
the,
was
the
the-
blind, wasn't it?
Liga.
the blind.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
Yeah,
a Liga. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Liga number 9. Yeah.
Great smoke.
Yeah, this is a fantastic cigar. I'm enjoying this thoroughly.
It was a great choice for this podcast.
You just can't. I mean, with this cigar, you can't beat this price point with this flavor, this complexity. I mean, it's tough. I mean, $8, you're getting this. I mean,
I'll have to get after my local cigar bar to get some of these.
Yep.
We know
Put
it.
in a good word. I still get a lot of pepper, but it's not really up front.
As this is building, I get the cocoa with the pepper.
I'm getting cocoa now.
You're crazy for Cocoa Puffs.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yes, he is.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's it. Nice.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if you guys feel this way. We all are doing. You did your band. I did my band. You are currently doing your band.
And not trying to ash.
So now, when I have the band on, I'm like, I'm getting close to the band, and then when I peel it off, I'm like, I have another half a cigar left.
Yeah.
Does anybody else get that
all the
perception? Yeah, you're like, I'm not almost done.
A lot of
I got,
times, when you get to certain lines of cigars, the warmth of the cigar as you're drawing it helps peel the label
Yep.
off as well.
Yeah.
Well,
There's some that are just really
That's
tough.
have the same thing. It doesn't tear the cigar, but does not come off easy.
Yeah, this ring on this shreds.
Actually, you got a pretty good set.
They were a little happy with the glue on it, maybe, or maybe it's just that it's that parchment paper.
Piece of paper.
But
got
yeah,
pretty good at
it did not tear the wrap, so I'm okay with it.
Well, and then it's worth mentioning. One of these times, Seth's gonna bring it in. He has banned from like every single
any-
cigar he's
Yeah,
ever had.
I'd say 95%.
5%.
Yeah, okay. To be realistic, 95% of every single cigar I've ever smoked, I've saved the band from. So I've gotten pretty good at taking them off in one piece.
Do you have a full filthy hooligan
If you
band?
can get one up without tearing out.
It's in one piece.
Yeah, not a
not
I don't know if
clean,
you
not a
can read
clean
it or
tear.
not, but
Yeah, that's one band that's really difficult to get off in one
Yeah.
piece.
We'll
I
have
think
to
I've got 4 cigar boxes and a fish bowl.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with them? Do you think?
I don't know. Make
Yeah.
a wall someday.
Yeah, that's fun. In your smoking room.
Yeah.
be like that insurance
Yeah, no,
commercial.
that
Put on
is-
your Facebook wall.
Going back to
This
what you
is
said
my
though,
wall.
I noticed that a lot with cigars. You get to the band and you're like, oh shit, this thing's going by so fast. You
Yeah,
take
I'm
it
almost
off and
done,
wow,
and then you're
that's-
like, I'm not even
deceiving.
halfway done. Yeah, it's
Or when the
perception,
first
right?
third flies by and you try to slow down, but you can't. And then it slows way down into the second half of the second third.
It's like going on vacation. You're enjoying
Oh,
it the
yeah.
whole time, knowing that
Ash
you're
on
gonna
the
be.
table.
Yeah, I know it.
Mhm.
You're gonna be. That's Dan's gig.
Yeah,
Quit doing
I don't
that.
want to steal your show, Dan.
Well, Cliff's not invited again.
I'd like to try and get
I'll-
this off night.
You're
it's
the
tearing
you're a
out.
guest. We'll allow it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not a guest, you filthy animal.
no.
You filthy animal.
Yeah, I was trying to get this off without tearing out on the label because I'm building a table with cigar bands in the top. But it's not coming off too well for me.
No.
It's wrapped pretty tight too.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean,
In for a penny, in for a pound.
yeah, it's not working out too
Well,
well.
yeah,
for
you're
me.
gonna
down
separate
here.
there.
And it'll still stay pretty clean.
Well, it's too late.
Nah.
It's loosened up a little bit. I'll slide it off the other end.
Careful.
Yeah,
Well, it's
don't-
like watching a
Yeah, I
surgery
don't
video.
Yeah,
Don't
I
tear
guess
it.
so.
Come
Yeah,
on.
well,
I
in
keep-
theory, I thought I could do it, but it's not working out for me.
Oh! That
Oh,
almost
another-
didn't make it on
Wow.
the table.
You can
Right
here,
on the edge.
grab your
Pick up
grab
your
your cigar.
Yeah, he's got it.
There you go, attaboy.
Good.
No.
That's
He's
another
just
check
trying to-
mark for Adam.
I am the winner chicken
Yeah, here we
dinner.
go again on the board. Hang on.
For those keeping track at home.
Yeah. For your scoreboards at home.
I'll have to cheat next time so I can actually.
Like
pull it
shove a
off.
bunch of toothpicks in there.
No, just stand it like this and just be like,
I've seen Alex do that quite a few times.
Here
When
and
you're
there.
going for the nub.
Depends
yeah.
on the cigar.
Smoke a vertical cigar. But
Especially
I gotta
if you're
admit,
trying to-
I can't remember the one that you smoked the one time, but it
In
was
Vegas?
it was
No.
crazy
No,
long.
Cliff was here when I smoked the Bolivar Cuban Zabelicoso Fino, and I smoked the whole cigar without ashing.
Yeah, it was,
But
it was impressive.
You're smoking like this by the
It
time you
is
get it
like
out.
this.
Then you're taking the band off real carefully.
It was impressive.
No, in Vegas I did a I think it was one of the Casa Fuente at the Casa Fuente Lounge. One of their cigars. It might have been an Opus. I don't remember.
That's a
And
good
we get
smoke
like
though.
cedar. Get a little cedar with some like an orange peel with chocolate.
It's like a chocolate covered orange peel.
Yeah, it's
I'm with you on
I get
that.
I get the
But I get
wood
some creaminess on that
you
too.
get creaminess.
There is a little touch of citrus in there, and it's just a hint. You know, it's just a hint of that kind of
zest.
yeah.
That was
Like a
that was
twist.
the yeah. It's just like almost like someone just kind of like sliced the rind and just a little bit of it. But when I first was smoking this, I was like, what are these flavors? I couldn't figure it out. So I had to go back and look them up, and everyone has their different viewpoints of what they got.
What are the tasting notes on it?
So tasting notes from Perdomo is going to be smooth, medium body, hints of espresso and nuts. And then what they
These
gave
nuts?
it a... Jeez.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. We went from
sorry.
PG-13 to R.
I kept it clean.
Sorry, YouTube.
I didn't
So
swear.
it got rated 90, and when they rated it, they said hints of leather, cedar, orange peel, some nuts, and it was creamy and smooth. So, wow, that creaminess just hit me.
It's a good smoke. And I do get a little bit of that nut, and I did earlier, but it's not real prominent.
Subtle.
It's very subtle, and it's in that cocoa. It's in that oatiness. You know, you get a little bit of that nut flavor, but it's not that creamy nut. And then you get a little bit of that creaminess too, so that pulls it out more. It's a good smoke, man.
It's phenomenal.
Well, I'm glad that one of your followers suggested it. That was a good suggestion. Give him a big thumbs up.
He follows us, so he'll probably chime in for sure.
We'll get to we got the other one too. We got to do get some Liga Flying Pigs and do
Yeah.
that from one of our other
Flying Pigs was
one of our
another
other
recommendation.
followers. That'll be a fun cigar. It's a good
Yeah.
cigar. I've had a couple. Actually, I think I've only had the T52 Pig, but
Now, is that like a really long cigar? Or is that more of the fat?
it's like a
sub?
short little
Like
like.
like a
I
short
don't want to
story.
call it a double. I don't want to call it. It's just it's short.
Looks like
it's fat. It's I don't even know how to describe it really. It's kind of like
And
a
if
double
you throw it through
perfecto.
the air, it's a flying pig.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
In our local humidor, there was T52s. Is that the same thing that you were referring to? Or
Well,
is it
in the
different?
Liga Privada line, there's Liga Privada and there's Liga Privada Unico. In the regular Liga Privada, there's T52 and number 9. And anywhere you
Okay.
go, lounges, there's either people that are hard number 9 people or hard T52 people.
Okay,
They
I've seen
both
it then.
have their. I think the 9 visually is darker. T52, I like them both. I really do.
Is that a nickname, the Flying Pig, or
No,
is that on the label?
It's a size that Drew Estate came up with. They do like
Okay.
Kentucky Fire Cured Flying Pig, and they do like the Undercrown Shade and Undercrown Maduro pigs. They do the Liga Bravada number 9 pig, T52 pig.
got
They're
a
all
nice
flying pigs.
Pigtail
Okay.
cap.
Yeah, they got the
Yeah.
pigtail cap,
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
that kind of curly Q on the end.
Adds a nice aesthetic.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Little pigtail.
Well, gentlemen, what's our final thoughts on this cigar?
Pick one up.
Definitely.
Good smoke.
Definitely good smoke.
Price point,
Big
A
bang
pl-
for the buck.
price point, A+,
absolutely.
complexity, A+. I mean,
Solid company that's real consistent.
good burn, good
Great
flavor.
burn, great draw. Start.
The flavor
So
is
now it's-
phenomenal.
It's
Agreed.
always nice to revisit a smoke you haven't had in a while.
I
And
don't
to
have
still
one.
be thoroughly impressed.
Does it bring back memories?
So many. Actually, yeah, it does. I think I smoked a number of these in Florida.
Makes
Is
you
it-
wanna
I used to
back
go out to a little
Florida.
local park, sit under the gazebo or some little covered picnic area.
This specific cigar, is it come in a Maduro?
Yes, there is a Maduro. They have a Connecticut, a Sun-Grown, and the Maduro. But when these ones were out, they had the
Natural
natural and the Maduro.
Actually, I was given that earlier, and forgot to finish what I was saying, but the band, they have color on them now, but they still look the same. So if someone out there goes in a humidor and sees what we did, it's still the same looking band. They just added some different color on it. Splashes of color.
They probably
on
even
the border
changed going from this paper to more of a
that I
foil
don't know.
style.
I don't know.
By looking at them, they look
Yeah,
like
look
they
a
have
little
more-
shinier.
Yeah,
a
they got
little
some
bit.
foil in them.
But it's still the same Lot 23 barn, everything, just a little color outline. That's pretty much it now.
Little update.
Well, that's a
It's
great
changing a
touch to
little
their label, though, having a picture of their barn that they actually cure this in. It's awesome.
Yeah, again, there's a lot that goes into bands.
A lot more than people overlook this stuff all the time.
Absolutely.
There's tons of stuff on bands that
It's almost like a story, you know?
oh, they're all a story, all of them. Alrighty, boys.
Well, gentlemen,
Yeah.
We wrap this up and pick something for next week. We'll find something cool and unique and fun for next time.
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
All
having
right.
me. I appreciate
Thanks,
it very
Cliff.
much. It was fun.
Thanks for sitting
It was a
in.
pleasure.
Absolutely. Good
Kept
time.
it PG 13ish.
On that note,
Yeah.
till next week.
Yeah, next week.
See you guys.